The Amulet of Elemental Torment can be found in the Druid Grove with trader Arron. Pretty much the first trader you come across.
Of course.
Its base cost is 400 gold. The price you'll get it at will depend on the charisma of the person speaking to Arron and if they are proficient in performance or not. So Gale's going to buy it here for 960 gold. He's my best choice. What does it do? When the wearer stands in certain surfaces such as fire and casts a spell that deals damage, the target also suffers the surface's effects. I've quite often dismissed this amulet for a long time. One of the viewers whose name is Omaniacal has been telling me its merits in the past week or so. Now, unfortunately, this isn't actually as descriptive as I would like it to be. It says certain surfaces such as fire. Okay, it gives us one example, but not any others. Omaniacal has gone and found out that it can only transfer fire, poison, and acid, but I'm going to go through and show you all the surfaces I can think of and see if this works out. It does say at the bottom, each jewel gleams with the energy of the natural elements, and I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jewels in this picture. I don't think that does mean there are 10 different surfaces. If it did mean that, it'd be pretty cool. And when it says elemental torment, I don't think it means the elements as we know them, such as fluorine, osmium, or lithium, or something like that. But I don't think it even means the, the 4 classical elements, earth, air, fire, and water. Well, we're going to go find out. So I'm going to go somewhere safe. I'm going to go back to camp, and I'm going to create a bunch of different surfaces and get Gale to start firing spells at Brewstav and Boltav here, pretty much. So let's make sure we equip the amulet. So the first thing we need to do is create some surfaces. So let's get Boltav to throw Alchemist's Fire. Oh, that was actually a slightly larger area. No, realised. So Gale is going to go and stand in the fire. Doesn't seem like a good idea, does it? And then let's shoot a Rare Frost. Boltav, he's the easiest to hit. He's already on fire. It wasn't the best choice, was it? In fact, what I'll do is just shoot Magic Missile because that deals damage. Gale's on fire now. 1, 2, let's just... So there we are. We have set Boltav and Brewstav on fire because Gale was standing in fire. Throw out a spell that does damage, Magic Missile. I think I'll use that in the future. And it transferred the condition to them. Pretty cool, but you do have to put your wizard or whoever's casting into fire. They're taking damage. If they're concentrating on anything, that is not going to be so useful. The next thing I'm going to throw is... Oops. The next thing I'm going to throw... I just used that there. Let's throw a bottle of poison because it does create a poison surface. There it is. A bit of a smaller surface this time. Smaller surface area. 1, 2, just chuck another one out. There we are. They're both poisoned. And they've got no saving throw against that. It's automatically poisoned. Now, it seemed like Gale didn't take any damage. I do wonder, or even make a saving throw. Let's just double check that, actually. But I'm sure in combat, he would have to have taken a saving throw against poison. But anyway, yeah, so poison works. Next, I'll try an Arrow of Acid. Oops. Well, okay, that missed him anyway. So he is definitely standing in acid. Let's throw out Magic Missile again. Now, they've got the acid condition. Acid is probably one of the best surfaces to use this on, because although Gale is inside the acid and he has got his armor class reduced by 2 for 1 turn, if he had enough movement speed left, he could come out of the acid and he wouldn't have the condition anymore, but he has transferred it to Boltav and Brewstav here. And just to try and show that, hopefully Gale won't get too annoyed. Shove him out and you can see the acid disappeared straight away. Next up, I'm going to try a cold surface. I've got an ice arrow of ice here. I'm hoping Gale doesn't fall over. So he's definitely standing in the surface. But nothing got transferred there. So the ice is melted, turned into water. I was actually going to use the Rain Dancer, but it's already been done for us. Throw out another Magic Missile. And they're not wet, not really that surprised, but yeah, the water surface doesn't inflict the wet condition. Okay, I've just reloaded since Gale's out of spell slots. It's quicker than going for a long rest. We get all our hit points back as well. So just created a grease surface. Gonna check out Magic Missile as always, because it always hits. And they don't take the condition of being in the grease. Again, kind of expected, but just need to check out as many surfaces as I can. Going to try and create an electrified surface. Gale is himself electrocuted. Let's throw this out. Disappointingly, doesn't get transferred. And if we're going with like classical elements, even though lightning isn't one of them, we don't have any water condition that's transferred. Lightning would be pretty good, but alas, it doesn't work. Okay, Gale has found himself inside spikes. Spike growth, it says surface in this little bit on the left there. So let's go for Magic Missile again. I wouldn't really expect this to work either. No, it doesn't work. Gale is now enwebbed in a web. Not transferred. Gale now finds himself inside some twisting vines. Again, it says surface. Yet again, not transferred. Now, I wouldn't strictly call Moonbeam a surface, but it does create an area on the floor that deals damage. I really don't expect this one to work. Yeah, unsurprisingly, nothing happens there. Again, similar to Moonbeam, I don't really expect this to work, but he's standing in a cloud of daggers. Thankfully, he passed his Constitution saving throw. Yeah, not transferred. He's now standing in a blood surface of his own creation. Nothing happens to the two test dummies here. Gale is very much standing in an oil surface here, so let's try and do that. Let's just throw one in case any more than that kills the goblin. But no, nothing transferred there. And again, not really that surprising. Gale has moved down the steps, is standing in mud, and he's just going to target Boltav here. Bruce Tav just for the sake of it. No. No. Mud doesn't transfer. Got some Caustic Brine down here, which come from the... what do we call them? Caustic Bulbs. That's what I was talking about just now. From the Nautiloid. It says it deals 1d4 damage per turn. Ooh, and it does. The Caustic Brine gets transferred. That's interesting. That's the fourth surface that can now be transferred. And if we go to Caustic Brine, it takes 1d4 acid damage per turn. I just want to point out that if we create a cloud by throwing a potion, like we've just thrown a potion of speed and it's broken open. And in fact, I'll get Bruce Tav to throw a potion of acid resistance also. Throwing bottles creates clouds, not surfaces. And as soon as we walk into the cloud, it disappears. So now he's hastened. Now he's got acid resistance, but there are no surfaces left over. And just to try this out on Bruce Tav, these do not get transferred. I wouldn't expect anything from a cloud to be transferred either. That's as many surfaces as I can possibly think of. I think the best surface really is acid, because you can hit someone, do a critical hit. Didn't mean to do that. And then walk out of the surface and suffer no ill effects. And then you decrease the AC of whoever you hit by 2, which is really quite powerful. I can't think of any other surface or any other effect. That's not quite true. Apart from some of the weapon abilities, such as Concussive Strike, there are very few effects that can decrease armor class for you. So let me know what you think of this amulet. Let me know what your favorite surface effect is. Did I forget any surfaces? I think I covered quite a lot, but I'm not infallible. Could have forgotten some. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.